back on the road after a great weekend in Wisconsin. Saw several of my teammates from last year. Also got to meet this year's team. Syracuse had a great year. Very glad to see that it continued to do so well and touch so many young lives in the years since I've left there. After I left Mount Tabor, the retreat center, to go back to work, I felt this deep sense of emptiness. And this wasn't the first time I felt it. I've also felt it after leaving home the 2 times that I was sent home because they couldn't get me weekend low because they had me on the Home Depot account. Even those times I left home, I felt that emptiness, getting ready to go back to work. I've been thinking and praying a lot about what God is trying to tell me through this. I still have a long way to go in my discernment. But for now, I can only suppose that it's God reminding me that I'm not going to find lifelong happiness by doing this. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm called to leave trucking and do something else. But at least for now, it's a cross that God wants me to carry. It's not something that I want to run away from because we're not meant to be perfectly happy at any stage of our earthly lives. We're called to take up our cross and carry it alongside Jesus every day. So even though the solitude of being on the road is taking more of a toll on me emotionally than I thought it would, I'm not going to run from that cross. Haven't figured out from my previous videos where we've gone through way station pre-passes, those long beeps mean that I got a green light, I don't have to go into the way station. And when it beeps faster, that means that I got a red light and I do have to go into the way station. My first pickup after I got back to work in Green Bay yesterday was in Neenah, which is the city right next to Menasha, where Mount Tabor Center is located. Picked up a load at the Kimberly-Clark facility right around the corner from St. Mary's Central High School, which is a great partner at Syracuse. Most Wednesdays throughout the year, we go there early in the morning to be there for the mass that they have every Wednesday morning. I delivered that load this morning south of Chicago. Picked up another load nearby the Walmart distribution center in Hammond, Indiana, where we were on the last day of March. And now we're taking this load all the way to Walmart headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas, on I-80 West. We'll be getting on 55 South shortly. Probably stopping for the night in Springfield, Illinois. last night, so I guess I'll be combining the one clip I made yesterday with today's video. Just left from the Pilot Road Ranger truck stop off exit 100A in Springfield, Illinois. We're back on 55 South. It's St. Louis, where we'll get on 44. And take that to I-49. To Bentonville, where we're dropping this load. Got our next assignment, once again, going mostly back the way I came. Picking up at a couple different places in Missouri along the route that I'm going today. First pickup in Neosho, and second pickup in Union. And delivering that load in Beloit, Wisconsin, just north of the Illinois border. Nice thing about that assignment is that some of my Ecclesia friends and I from last summer are tentatively planning to have a video chat on Wednesday night. And when I first found out we were planning to do this, I didn't think I was going to be able to make it because most places I stop for the night don't have Wi-Fi that's free and has enough bandwidth for video chatting. This place I stopped last night had great Wi-Fi. And the timing of where I need to be for my next assignment works out that I will probably be able to get back here Wednesday night for that. Good morning, St. Louis. Hopefully you can see the arch straight ahead. That's a bit cloudy. Or very cloudy, I should say, and foggy. We'll be crossing the Mississippi shortly. Still making great time despite
in a quarter mile,
rush
keep
hour
to the left on
traffic.
I-64 West US 40 West I-55 South. In 1.5 miles, keep to the left on I-64 West US 40 West.
These are the kinds of days that truckers typically like the most, where you're just driving most of the day, not making multiple stops at customers. Some would complain about the rain, but I could care less about that. Doesn't slow me down that much. Thankful to be getting good mileage and driving through several new counties today. I've already recited the counties of Missouri for you, but I will have to recite the counties of Arkansas later once we cross over there. We're going to be in there for a very short time just to make that delivery, and then we'll be going right back the way we came.
In a half mile, keep to the left on I-64 West US 40 West. In 1 mile. Keep to the right on I-44 West.
There's Busch Stadium on the right. All of my Spiritus teammate Sam's beloved Cardinals.
Continue on this road for 14 miles.
Sound sure does love its baseball team. Of course, it's easy for them to love their team because they do so well just about every year. Of course, the Cardinals need a whole lot more than now that they no longer have an NFL team. But as I've already explained, I really don't care at all about sports anymore. Several hours of podcasts to keep me entertained and informed as I drive the rest of this day. Folks around here sure do take pride in the history of Route 66. Right arrest area at mile marker 110 on I-44. Finishing up my 30-minute break. Still making great time. Should arrive in Bentonville well over an hour before my ETA. I'm about to cross into Arkansas, which has 75 counties for the first time ever. I'm only going to get to visit one of those 75 counties today, but grateful that I at least get to go this far.
Crossing border, entering Arkansas.
Arkansas, Ashley, Baxter, Benton, Boone, Bradley, Calhoun, Carroll, Chico, Clark, Clay, Cleburne, Cleveland, Columbia, Conway, Crankhead, Crawford, Crittenden, Cross, Dallas, Deshae, Drew, Faulkner, Franklin,
Widening
Fulton,
road ahead.
Garland, Grant, Green, Hempstead, Hot Spring, Howard, Independence, Izzard, Jackson, Jefferson, Johnson, Lafayette, Lawrence, Lee, Lincoln, Little River, Logan, Lonoke, Madison, Marion, Miller, Mississippi, Monroe, Montgomery, Nevada, Newton, Washita, Cary, Phillips, Pike, Poinsett, Polk, Pope, Prairie, Pulaski, Randolph, St. Francis, Saline, Scott, Searcy, Sebastian, Sevier, Sharp, Stone, Union, Van Buren, Washington, White, Woodruff, Yell. Everything went exactly as planned today. Made it here to the Loves in Neosho around 4:30. And because my first loading appointment tomorrow isn't until 7 and I'm only a short distance from it, I have plenty of time to record another life story segment. Left off last time talking about the stress I went through applying for Spiritus and other volunteer programs, and how after stressing out way more than I should have over it, I finally got accepted to Spiritus, and then I was happy for a time. So now I'll continue talking about the experiences that I had while on Spiritus. From the very beginning of my time on the team, it was everything I hoped it would be. My teammates and staff were amazing. We all inspired and challenged each other to go deeper in our relationship with God. Memorizing retreat presentations and getting students to be interested and engaged in our retreats were challenging, but my teammates and I worked well together as a team, and we grew from the experience. It didn't take long for me to fall in love with the ministry of Spiritus. Having grown up without an opportunity to participate in youth ministry and without any young adult Catholic role models, I recognized how crucial a ministry like Spiritus is. I immediately felt called to stay with Spiritus for multiple years and become one of the team's leaders and help the ministry expand beyond Wisconsin someday, possibly. I prayed a lot about my future throughout my time with Spiritus, and I sincerely believed that God wanted me to stay there for a long time. But in hindsight, I can see how my worries heavily influenced my discernment. Part of the reason I wanted to stay with Spiritus so badly was that I dreaded the thought of having to apply for a new job with only 1 year of Spiritus under my belt. Because I got so few offers out of my many Drexel co-op interviews and volunteer program interviews, my self-confidence as a job applicant was totally shot. I knew there were hardly any full-time Catholic ministry jobs that I would be qualified for until I either went to grad school for theology or a related field, or had more than a year of full-time ministry experience. Going straight from 1 year Spiritus to grad school wasn't an option for me because I was totally unwilling to consider going into debt. If I was going to go to grad school, I was only going to consider arrangements that would have let me do it for free, such as either getting a graduate assistantship or a full-time job at a Catholic university with a good master's program in theology. Because I saw such limited options open to me besides staying with Spiritus, I wasn't going to consider doing anything else unless Spiritus didn't accept me back for a second year. Throughout much of the first half of the year, I dreaded this possibility. Although I got the impression that it was pretty unlikely because I was doing a pretty good job aside from struggling to be conversational with students on retreats. And on top of that, I knew that Spiritus had a harder time recruiting men to join the team than it does recruiting women. So I figured they probably wouldn't let a guy go who wanted to stay unless his job performance was really unsatisfactory. Despite my confidence that I would be invited to stay for another year, I often imagined myself sobbing loudly in my boss's office if he told me he wasn't accepting me to stay. I recognized these imaginations as a spiritual attack from Satan, so I fought back with prayer. The litany of humility, which my Spiritus teammates taught me at the beginning of the year, was especially helpful. It's a prayer in which we ask Jesus to free us from all forms of pride and grant us the grace to desire that others may have all worldly things better than us. Google it. It's an amazingly powerful prayer when it's prayed with sincerity. With the help of this and other prayers, I felt much more at ease by the middle of the year about the possibility of not being accepted for a second year of Spiritus. On Ash Wednesday, that possibility became a reality, and I was able to cry over it much more quietly and peacefully than I imagined myself doing in the fall, thanks to my strong prayer life. I didn't spend too much time discussing the matter with my boss, but as far as I know, the two main reasons I wasn't invited back were my difficulty engaging students in conversation, which I was well aware of and didn't come as a surprise to me, and the fact that they were planning to have a slightly smaller team in the coming year and would only have housing available for a very limited number of men. With two of my more outgoing brothers on the team also applying to come back for another year, even I could agree that they deserved it more than me. I still have a couple hours before I need to go to bed to get a full night's sleep. Hopefully get more than I got last night when I got less than 6 hours. But that still leaves me with plenty of time to edit this video. Till next time, please keep me in your prayers and I'll keep you in mine. God bless.